Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Thursday, and we have an absolute mountain of Port Charles drama to dive into. Grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever you need to get through this, and let's settle in. We always love breaking down the latest rumors, spoilers, and behind-the-scenes whispers with all of you, and today's topic is a massive one. Let's not waste another single second and just jump straight into the madness. I am literally shaking with anger right now. I cannot even begin to process what I just read, and I need to get this out of my system before I absolutely lose my mind. Are you kidding me right now? No! Absolutely not. I refuse to accept this. I am sitting here staring at my screen late at night, reading this latest behind-the-scenes leak, and I am just screaming into the void. I can't believe they would even consider doing this after everything we have just been through with this character. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, and I haven't even told you what this is yet, but I am just so incredibly frustrated. We finally get what we want, we finally get the character development we have been begging for, and this is how the writers repay us? Okay, let me take a deep breath and explain. There is a massive behind-the-scenes leak floating around from Soap Dirt right now, and it is claiming that General Hospital is planning a terminal blood disease storyline for none other than Rick Lansing. Yes, you heard me right. Rick Lansing. Just as his redemption arc is hitting its absolute peak, just as he is finally becoming the man we all knew he could be, they are allegedly going to hit him with a terminal illness. The leak says this is going to kick off during May sweeps and will mirror the devastating Alzheimer's death of Mike Corbin. I'm sorry, but what? Am I the only one who thinks this is a completely massive mistake? I mean, I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen them make some truly questionable narrative choices, but this feels like a literal slap in the face to the fans who have invested so much time into Rick's journey. And before anyone jumps into the comments to say, oh, it's just a rumor, don't get worked up, let me stop you right there, because I want to dismiss it. I really want to brush this off as just another crazy internet theory cooked up by bored fans. But the source behind this Soap Dirt leak has a terrifyingly accurate track record. Like, scary accurate. Remember when we all thought the rumor about Cyrus Reno killing Sam McCall was just fake news? Yeah, didn't work then either, because this leaker called it weeks before it ever aired on our screens. They are the exact same source who confirmed that Liesl Obrecht had a fourth Faison child way before Cassius Faison ever showed his face in Port Charles. And don't even get me started on the Erica Slezak casting as Monica Quartermain's secret sister Ronnie. They nailed that one too, down to the exact details. The leaker even apparently checked with multiple sources before dropping this Rick Lansing bombshell. So, we have to treat this as highly probable. And that terrifies me, because Rick Lansing finally has the life he always wanted. He has literally clawed his way back from the absolute depths of hell to get to where he is right now. Do we need to recap what this man has survived? He was tied to a gurney in Alexis Davis' basement with a ball gag in his mouth for a month. A month! That is the kind of psychological and physical trauma that destroys a person permanently. I mean, think about the old Rick. The Rick who literally locked Carly in a panic room. The Rick who played mind games with everyone in Port Charles just to get a sliver of Sonny's power or attention. That Rick is gone. The basement trauma broke something loose inside of him. It shattered all the toxic, manipulative defense mechanisms he had built up over the decades. He hit rock bottom, and what came out the other side was a man who had a brutal, honest realization. If he dropped dead tomorrow, Molly Lansing Davis would literally be the only person standing at his funeral. That realization changed everything for him. Rick hasn't just been pretending to be better, he has actually done the hard, grueling work to redeem himself. There is no secret agenda this time. There is no nefarious scheme cooking behind those dark eyes. He is genuinely trying to be a good father, a good brother, and a good man. We are watching him right now in the current episodes, and he is the voice of reason. Right now, in the episodes we literally just watched, Rick is the one standing between Sonny and total disaster. Sidwell is out for blood over Marco Rios' death. Sonny and Rick went to the church, to Marco's actual funeral, to try and convince Sidwell that Sonny didn't do it. It didn't work, and Sidwell is planning retaliation. And what did Rick do? He sat Sonny down and warned him to be prepared. He didn't plot to take over Sonny's territory. He didn't use the chaos to his advantage. He acted like a loyal brother. He even tried to talk Danny Morgan down when Danny wanted to go after the WSB because of Jason. Rick is doing the heavy lifting to keep this family together, and now a leaked source is saying he might be dying? You have got to be kidding me. Let's talk about his relationship with Sonny for a second, because this is where the leak really starts to twist the knife. Rick and Sonny have honestly built a brotherly bond for the first time in their entire lives. We have spent years, decades, even watching these two tear each other apart. The jealousy, the betrayals, the constant power struggles. But right now, they are acting like real brothers. When Sonny was vulnerable because Jason got shipped off to WSB custody to protect Rocco, Rick was the one standing by his side, theorizing about Sidwell's moves and trying to keep Sonny safe. To finally give us this beautiful, healed brotherhood and then immediately rip it away by giving Rick a terminal blood disease, it's cruel. It is just plain cruel. The Soap Dirt source explicitly compares this upcoming storyline to Mike Corbin's Alzheimer's arc. And I have to admit, that comparison is both incredibly exciting from an acting standpoint and absolutely terrifying from an emotional one. I mean, we all remember the Mike storyline. It was devastating television. Remember when Mike couldn't remember Sonny's name? Remember the heartbreaking scenes at Turning Woods? The way Sonny just broke down crying in the hallway because he couldn't fix it? It gave Maurice Bernard some of the most powerful, Emmy-winning material of his entire career. If they are truly trying to replicate that magic with Rick, we are in for months of agony. Imagine Sonny having to watch his brother die. The brother he just finally learned how to love. Imagine Sonny trying to use his mob money and power to buy a cure, only to realize that all the money in the world can't cure a terminal blood disease. The emotional weight of that is going to be unbearable. The leaked diagnosis is reportedly a blood disease. They are throwing around possibilities like leukemia, lymphoma, or aplastic anemia, and it's expected to kick off during May sweeps, playing out over several agonizing months, likely stretching all the way through July. So this isn't going to be a quick, shocking death like a car crash or a shooting. No, this is going to be a long, slow, excruciating emotional burn designed to completely wreck every single character and every single fan. We are going to have to watch Rick slowly waste away, watch him lose his strength just as he found his moral compass. I am already crying just thinking about the hospital scenes. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself because I haven't even touched on the part of this leak that makes me the most furious. Elizabeth Weber. Can we talk about Rick and Elizabeth for a minute? Because Elizabeth finally, after years of history, heartbreak, and hesitation, agreed to give Rick another chance. They have been on at least one real, genuine date this year, and everything was heading somewhere so beautiful. The chemistry is still there, the deep connection is still there, Rick has proven to her that he is a changed man, and Liz was finally opening her heart back up to him. So of course, that is exactly when General Hospital decides to drop a terminal diagnosis on him. Why can't Elizabeth ever just be happy? Why does every man she loves either die, leave, or lose their mind? And here is the part that has me genuinely concerned and honestly a little bit sick to my stomach. General Hospital is already chemistry testing Liz with Dante Falconeri. Yes, you heard me. They are throwing Liz and Dante into scenes together, testing the waters. You do not line up a new pairing unless you are clearing the runway for it. If you've been watching soaps as long as I have, you know exactly what this means. They are preparing to remove Rick from the equation so they can push Liz and Dante together. I am sorry, but I hate this. Let's talk about Dante for a second. The leaker who dropped this Rick news is the same one who correctly predicted that Cyrus Renault would kill Sam McCall. Sam is gone. Dante is grieving. He is literally running around Port Charles right now, grilling Lulu Spencer about Rocco's infected hand, and dealing with his own massive family trauma with Anna Devane and Emma Scorpio Drake. So why are they chemistry testing him with Elizabeth? It feels so incredibly rushed. They are both grieving, they are both traumatized, and throwing them together just because they want to clear the runway for Rick's death is a massive disservice to both characters. If Rick Lansing dies, Elizabeth loses yet another man she loves on this show. Hasn't she suffered enough? Hasn't she mourned enough? To drag her back into a romance with Rick? to let her believe that he is finally the safe, stable partner she deserves, only to have him diagnosed with a terminal blood disease? It is trauma porn. It's just trauma porn at this point. I know some people are loving the idea of a deep, dramatic medical storyline because it gives the actors great material, but personally, I am so exhausted by the constant misery piled onto these specific characters. Let them have a little bit of joy. Let Rick and Liz actually be a power couple for a year before you destroy them. I was scrolling through the message boards and group chats earlier today, and the fandom is completely split on this. Half the fans are screaming just like I am, threatening to boycott May sweeps if they actually kill off Rick. But then there's the other half, and I acknowledge your opinions, even if I completely disagree with them, who think this is exactly the kind of high-stakes, tear-jerking drama that daytime television needs right now. They think a terminal illness storyline is a great way to ground the show in reality, especially with all the mob violence and WSB spy stuff happening with Jen, Sidwell, Jack Brennan, and Carly covering up Danny and Charlotte's car crash. But personally, I watch soaps for escapism. I don't want to watch a beloved character slowly waste away from leukemia just for the sake of grounded drama. But, okay, let me calm down for a second, because there is a sliver of hope in all of this doom and gloom. The leak explicitly states that Rick Hearst is absolutely beloved by the GH executives. And honestly, how could he not be? The man is a daytime legend. He acts circles around half the cast. Because the higher-ups love him so much, a medical miracle survival is reportedly on the table. They don't want to lose him permanently, and frankly, neither do we. Rick Lansing has become one of the most compelling, layered, fascinating characters on daytime right now. Killing him off permanently after this massive redemption arc would be a creative crime of the highest order. And let's be real, this is General Hospital. Medical miracles happen every other Tuesday. People come back from the dead, people get experimental treatments from crazy doctors, people survive explosions and brain tumors and being frozen in ice. If anyone can survive a terminal blood disease, it's Rick Lansing. But if they do go the medical miracle route, how are they going to pull it off? We know Isaiah Gannon is an incredible doctor, but he's currently tied up dealing with Rocco's severe hand infection. Portia Robinson is dealing with the nursery. Lucas Jones is up to his neck in trauma cases because of that massive fiery car crash on Route 91 with Jordan and Curtis. The hospital is literally overflowing with patients right now! Who is going to have the time to dedicate to saving Rick Lansing's life? Are they going to bring back a legacy doctor? The possibilities are endless, but they need to give us something to hold on to. We also have to think about what this means for Molly and Alexis. Rick is co-parenting peacefully with Alexis right now. They have finally reached a place of mutual respect after the absolute nightmare of the basement kidnapping. Can you imagine the guilt Alexis is going to feel if Rick gets a terminal diagnosis? She is going to wonder if the stress of the kidnapping, the physical toll of being bound and gagged for a month, somehow triggered this illness. The psychological warfare that Alexis will wage on herself is going to be insane to watch. And Molly is going to be destroyed. Rick realized that Molly would be the only one at his funeral, and now we might actually have to see that funeral? No. Molly has been through so much, and to lose her father to a slow, wasting disease is going to break her. Whether Rick Lansing lives or dies, this storyline is going to put Sunny, Elizabeth, Molly, and Alexis through absolute hell. And let's be honest with ourselves. I am going to be watching every single second of it with a giant box of tissues in my hand. I can complain and scream and vent on the internet all I want, but at the end of the day, I am deeply emotionally invested in this show and these characters. I just pray that the executives realize what a goldmine they have in Rick Hearst and choose the medical miracle route. Do you think Rick Lansing will actually survive this, or is this really the end of the road for him? Let me know, because I am losing my mind over here, and I need to know. I'm not the only one freaking out.